Are you ready for some mojo? Let's rock this
Welcome to the Mojo for Musicians Limelight Lounge, where we showcase some of the hottest talent across the globe and what it took to get them to where they are today. Only here on the Mojo for Musicians podcast. I'm your host, Manny Cabo. Now let's do this.
All right, what's going on, Mojo Maniacs? Welcome back to another incredible episode. And I love saying this because this is such a cool little segment called Limelight Lounge, where I get to actually showcase and spotlight some of my favorite people in the industry, good friends that I've collaborated with. And today, by all means, I have an amazing treat for all you guys. She is... there's no other word that I could really attach to her, but she is a beast. She really is. She's a beast with respect to the business world. You know, she's an entrepreneur. And this is going from the top of my head because I promised myself I'm not going to really do the research on this. I'm going to go back and read about her and go back into my memory banks and what I remember about Emily. But we have Emily Lazer. And correct me if I'm saying that wrong. Lazar, like... Emily Lazer. There you go. I always call you Emily. I never really focused on that. So how the hell are you, man?
Oh my God. This past year, like ever since pandemic, it's been like a whirlwind of craziness.
Yeah.
I think we all kind of got whiplash by the pandemic, especially touring musicians.
Yeah.
And I'm a professional touring musician, and that's how we made the bulk of our money. And it was just kind of like, we can't tour anymore.
I know.
Like, what are we going to do?
You know what? I don't even want to focus on this conversation because it just brings back some PTSD. Because, I don't know if you know, I lost my dad to COVID, right? And then Hurricane Ida washed away 25 years of my entire livelihood. So believe me, it's still fresh in my mind. And I know we're all resonating with what, COVID has certainly impacted us all. That's an understatement. But I know
I lost a lot of people to COVID. It was tough.
It's brutal. Yeah. But I know, listen, you are a busy bee. First of all, for those of you who don't know Emily, you probably live under a rock because Emily is so omnipresent. I'm not even kidding, man. Like, what is it that you don't know? I get complimented, Manny, you're a photographer, you're a podcaster, you're a singer. But Emily, I got to tell you, man, you're right there with me. She is an entrepreneur. She's got her own like comic book line. She's a touring musician, which I know you guys are going on tour in April, right? You're crushing the metaverse, Web3 and NFT space because I see you. I'm in your Discord server. I'm like, my God, right? And it's just fantastic to see somebody hustling so much. But I love what you're doing because you're actually educating us. You're supporting your fans and the people that sustain your career. And that's so important. Like, you embrace your fans. I'm all about that. I'm totally about that. But I got to ask you, now that we're talking about the many layers, right? And the many components of Emily, like, how did you ideate this whole concept of this incredibly beautiful yet dark and sinister character that people have actually come to love and embraced, not only as a performer, but also as a character? Talk to me about that.
Well, I've always been obsessed with death, which is pretty dark and grim to say, but it's prevalent, it's part of life. Death is a part of life. Death is what gives life meaning in a sense.
It's a celebration for me. I agree with you. It's a celebration.
Yeah.
Right.
It's kind of like, if you don't have an expiration date, it's the livelihood of vampire, like the vampiric sort of like lore, right? Is all centered around that. They don't have an expiration date. So like, what does life really mean to them?
Yeah.
So for us, we have an expiration date. So it's kind of like every day, like live to your fullest. Like, I know it's super cliche to say that, but that's something that I've come to like really recognize in my life. I lost a lot of people at a very young age, a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it was ridiculous at a point. And one of the people that I lost was my best friend, and he had been my best friend since I was really young, and just like somebody that always believed in me, saw me through. Like, I was a professional ballerina before I got signed to a record label at like 18. So like, I lost that career because I fell down a marble staircase and broke all these bones in my body. And he was there through that whole thing, and he helped me move to New York and get my life back on track and like figure out what I wanted to do with my life. And then when I got the opportunity to go and sing for a producer, he's like, he drove, made sure that I went to the audition and I did it. And like, he was the driving force in my life for a while.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And yeah. And then I lost him. To a drug. He moved away from New York City, said that he'd stay clean. I had gotten him clean. Said that he'd stay clean, and he moved away. And a year later, less than a year later, he was 6 feet under. And it's like, that just shook me. I mean, I was shook. Like, I don't even know how else to say it.
I can imagine. And you know what? It resonates with me, Emma. Not to cut you off, but it resonates with me because my dad was everything creative for me, and I lost him. It's like this huge void. But go ahead. It's huge.
No, like, it's similar to that because my family, I've never been very close to my family. My father and I are close now, but like when growing up, like, I didn't really have a family. I left home when I was 12. So I was like, my friends became my family. So he was that father figure sort of like person to me, just a little bit older than me, but had that like fathering mentality to me.
Sure,
and so, so for me, it was very similar to what happened to you. So, I was around like 23, I think, when it happened. And he was around that same age. And I was like, it was too much. It was really too much for me, Manny. And I really went through this really dark spiral of trying to figure out like, why do all the good people die young and all the, bad people live forever? Like, I just kept on coming in contact with that sort of situation throughout my life. And I was sick of it. Yeah. So I ended up turning that question into September Morning. Like, it literally spawned from the question I had about him. Wow. Why do all the good people die young and all the bad people live forever, or it seems forever, live long till they're really old or whatever.
That's incredible.
And so he became the emphasis of of that whole movement towards September Morning and the comic books and the character. And I wanted to make a character that would give people second chances at life. If she figures that, they're dying too young, or they have more to do in life, she puts their souls into another person's body and lets them live on their lives. And that's what I wanted to do with him. I couldn't do that. I'm not a superhero, but I made a superhero that could do that, because that's what you do when you're a creative. Sometimes you design a world that you want to be in. And I designed a world that I could be in, and that world was a place where I could harness death, because death to me was so prevalent in my life. And so that's kind of like where it came from. Not that I have a God complex at any degree, but but it's just something that I felt so passionate about, because I hurt by it.
I get it. You live vicariously through this amazing character. And mind you, I got to tell you, your friend's there guiding you. He's there. He's watching what you're doing. Trust me, the energy is there, because beautiful energy never dies. And it's incredible. What a profound story. And I could totally appreciate that, because it does. Sometimes it's the most dark and dismal moments, right? It's always those extreme circumstances that you embrace. And then from there, from the ashes, comes this incredible product, this incredible revelation, right? It was almost epiphanic, because there was a huge loss that you were entertaining, but yet here is September Morning. Here you are years later, succeeding off of this internal anecdote that came from such pain. And unfortunately, you had to go through it. It doesn't make any sense at the time, but as it unleashes, as the years elapse, you're like, wow. And you could sit here and thank your friend, obviously, because I know he's there watching you. And it's unfortunate that he's no longer here, but I get it. It's painful, man. It never goes. And I don't care what people say, right? You don't get used to it. It just, you learn to live with it. The pain is always there.
Yeah, of course. I think that I was talking in Twitter Spaces the other night about this. As artists, we want to leave a legacy, and we want to leave something that becomes eternal.
Sure.
That's kind of like what we're always chasing, something that will last forever. And for me, of course, I was chasing that like with my own art, but like moreover, because I'm so driven by the people that I love, like, which can be a detriment, but it can be a strength as well.
Damn right.
You know that.
That's an understatement, but go ahead. I'll let you finish. That's an understatement.
We all know how that works, how that can, it can repair, but it can also, really kill us. But so for me, like at that point in my life, all I wanted to do is make him live forever. And it's ironic because like this project is becoming this crazy scope of a project, and it's permeating into all these different types of media. And it's already now, because of what I did on the blockchain, being the first female rock metal musician to mint and sell an NFT on the blockchain, and doing that through a September Morning project, he is now like put down in history. Like his whole concept will live forever. And and therefore he will live forever. So to me, that's the most beautiful thing I could have ever done for him.
Yeah.
People are like, what do you give you bring flowers to a funeral? No, I'm going to make my friend live forever.
Yeah.
And that's what I did, because he was that important. I think he was probably the only thing that I've ever honestly and this is totally honest, he's probably the only person I have 100% loved in my life.
Wow.
Like genuinely loved. And it wasn't sexual. It wasn't he wasn't my boyfriend. He was gay, but it was there was nothing but love there.
Yeah.
And it was just unconditional.
I can respect that. And you know what? You don't even have to explain yourself. Love is love. And I believe that love conquers all. And I just, I found out that September Monsters sold out. That's incredible. That is totally, I just went through the same thing with the Giraffe Tower. We sold out 10,000 pieces. So it's amazing. It's such a feeling of elation, right? When you work so hard. Like you truly double down, sometimes triple down on something that's completely connected to your heart and soul, and people get to reap the benefits through your passion. So kudos to you, man. That's huge, and I celebrate that with you. So with that being said, let's move this question to your biggest challenge, right? We talked about loss already, and that in itself, that's gigantic. That's huge. So in terms of overcoming it, what type of advice can you give our ecosystem of artists out there who've gone through this loss, or who've come to this point in their career where they don't know what to do? They don't have any direction. Like, what can you gain from the world of Emily Lazer and what she's been able to accomplish? Give us some advice and counsel us on what the next step should be.
I mean, the only thing that I think I just gave a blueprint. The thing that really makes sense to me as an artist, and in so many different disciplines, I'm definitely a multidisciplinary artist, and you are too. And it's if you have something that's hurting you, you turn that pain into art, and that's what I've done my whole entire life. And and it's kind of the more you hurt, sometimes the more beautiful the art can become. And, it's not like you want to go out there seeking hurt, because that's just masochistic and horrible. But things come to us, and the universe never gives us what we can't handle. Honestly, let's be honest about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you, with your father, or my friend, or that's a lot of pain, but you can channel that. Energy is crazy, because energy is not really, it's not, I don't look at energy as when it at its purest form. I don't look at it as good or bad. I look at it as a neutral form. And if it comes into your life as a negative energy, you can always neutralize it, because it's energy. So you can always neutralize it, and you can change it to something positive. So I think that because at its purest form, it is neutral. So it's what you make of it. So I think that if you can harness that, and you can harness, if you lost everything, like you said, you went through loss, just not of just your father, but of everything else. But then you just sold out a 10,000 piece project. So it's you harnessed a lot of energy and put it into something else that made all of that become positive. Yeah. And channeling is a huge thing for artists. We are all kind of like witches in a way. And I really do believe that. And in a good way, not in a negative, I'm going to curse your family, but
let's set the record straight. We are talking to, the lead singer of September Morning. So please don't misconstrue that, but I get it. Go ahead.
Yeah. But we can use that to channel into something very, very positive and very artistic and very creative. So use that. If you're going through pain, you're going through hurt. Sometimes, first of all, sometimes you just got to feel it. Sometimes I can't write a song. People are just write a song about it. I need to process the information and go through it. and then I can write a song about it.
It's
Like
amazing.
sometimes
People
I
don't get
can't
it,
write a
right?
song when I'm like in the middle of it. Yeah. I can't see anything. I'm
Yeah.
like in the middle of a tornado.
Yeah.
Like I can't see anything. So like sometimes you need to process and know this. This is something I always say, is that life is fluid, love is fluid, emotion is fluid. Everything, the only thing you can depend on in this life is change. Everything changes. Your body is changing at this very minute. Every 7 years, your skin and everything turns over and you're a totally different person. Right. So like, just remember that. Like, so change is going to happen. So if you're feeling something today that you think is too overwhelming, you never know how you're going to survive, in 24 hours, it's going to be different. It might be worse, it might be better, but it's going to be freaking different. So like, know that, and like, know that everything is fluid, and let it like flow over you. Take in the emotion, feel the emotion, then let it go. You know, that's kind of like, that's the only advice that I have.
I love it. Embrace the Evolution of Change by Emily Lazer.
Yes, exactly. You have
it.
to.
So listen, this is from a personal standpoint. So we're both cut from the same cloth, right? You know, we have multiple layers and components to what we do, right? Singer, photographer, you're entrepreneur, you're an NFT queen, you know, all these incredible things that we do as creators. And I've been asked this all the time. I got to ask you, like, if you had one choice, somebody said, Emily, you could only do one thing. Being an entrepreneur, you know, selling merch, being a lead singer, like, which one of those facets would you cater to the most, or would you lean into the most? Because I know it's difficult for me. I can't abandon my photography for my singing or my podcasting. Like, I can't.
Yeah,
I love them all.
I don't know.
It's tough, right?
I mean, like, honestly, at my core, at my heart, something that I will do till I die, I'm a storyteller. So for me, just crafting like stories is like, if I had to get rid of everything and just like craft stories from here on out, like I would be okay with that. Cause like, I think that the evolution of society is based in storytelling, because it's something that we've done since the beginning of time, and it will continue till we die. All of us die on this planet, or on Mars where Elon Musk is, whatever. So it's like, you know, storytelling to me is the livelihood of our soul. And I can't give that up.
I know.
So if I had to give up everything else for it, I probably would. That being said, I love being on stage. I've been on stage my whole life. I will continue to be on stage for a while longer because I just love it so much.
Yeah.
And, you know, and we're good at it, and we, you know, and we reap financial rewards from it. So, you know, it's my career. But that being said, I love telling the story. And I think a lot of people come to our shows for the story. I mean, yes, they come for the music and this and that, the other thing, but they also come because we're creating a world. And when you create a world and you invite people into it and they become a part of it, it's a very immersive sort of feeling. And it makes you feel like you're part of a family. And I think everybody wants to belong somewhere. So
that's so eloquently put. And you know what, like, as singers, right? Not only that, but songwriting. It's funny, but it takes me back to that moment where you, myself, and Rich were in that room writing, right? It's all about the story. Can you believe it's been almost 3 years since that day?
It's crazy. It's crazy,
right?
I know.
And it's all about the story. And you know, it was so great to be a part of that, writing a song. And people don't understand the elements, you know, the fragments of what it is to write a good song. It's all about a story. So I completely concur. And that's a great segue into the next thing. I'm going to play a song for those of you who don't know Emily. You certainly will after this. This is the latest single called Dirty. Here's a little excerpt from it.
Get to the ending. Come and call me nasty. Live in your projection. Think the world will listen. Not this time. I wasted my life feeding all your demons. Now they're chasing me and I can't get away.
Yeah, listen to that. Wow, that was that's dirty. That's Emily rocking out, man. You know what? You've got a lot of similarities. You know, you remind me of like the Butcher Babies and Black Briar, and then that type of vibe. Yeah, but you've got your own thing going on. I appreciate the elaborateness of your stage setup. And I can kick myself in the ass because I miss you guys. You guys are so close. You were playing, I think, at Dingbats at one, but I was in Nashville and I couldn't see the show. Figures the 1 week I'm not here, you guys come.
Are you in New Jersey? Wait, are you in New Jersey?
I'm
now?
in Jersey. Yeah, I've been here.
Okay, well, we're playing Dark Side of the Con, so why don't you come out and have some and rock out with us? Like that's coming up in like a couple weeks.
That's
so
awesome. It would be an
cool.
honor. Yeah, but I want to be entertained. I just want to embrace the show because I'm all about antics, and smoke and the story and the vestment. That's what I'm all about, man. That's why I totally appreciate what you're doing. And I do. I have to commend you, especially with what you're doing now. And people don't realize, listen, the metaverse, Web3, NFTs, this shit's real. This is going down. Like, we really need to educate themselves because this is the wave of the future. This is the way that how to monetize your career as an artist, right? It's something that you need to leverage. So I'm so proud of you, seriously. And we've come a long way because from 3 years to where we are, whoever would have thought where this transition would take us, man? It's incredible. It really is. But tell people how to find you, Emily.
You can go to septembermorning.com, and that's MOURNING, and that's our main website for everything September Morning related. If you want to find out about me and what I'm doing with NFTs and all of that sort of stuff, which is very interesting, you can go to my Twitter or the September Morning Twitter. The Twitter for myself is Emily Lazer _SM. And on that Twitter, you will find a link tree, and it has a bunch of different sites on there for all of our NFTs, our band Twitter, like everything's on there. You can join up, figure everything out from there. I'm also on Instagram, Emily Lazer _SM again is my Instagram handle. Everything's kind of that handle. I'm on Facebook, but I never am on Facebook anymore because I don't like Mike Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg. I don't even Mark. Anyway, not the biggest fan. I mean, he's done some great things, but don't get me wrong. But
I get it. Trust me.
I don't know.
You don't even have to elaborate. I get it.
Not even elaborate on that. But yeah, yeah. But if you'd like to find me on OpenSea, I have a couple collections on OpenSea. I am a verified artist on OpenSea. So you can just look up Emily Lazer on there. You will see the September Morning Soul collection. That's my kind of like quote unquote blue chip. I know there's no such thing as blue chips in NFTs right now, but that's my quote unquote blue chip project that is pretty much sold out. I think we have 2 pieces left on that.
Nice.
It's number 32 on the music charts right now, I believe, on OpenSea. I have a project called September's Monsters under my name as well that is sold out, but there is a secondary sale going on a couple of the monsters. And if you get those, what I tried to do with that, and it was the first project to ever do this in NFTs, is I changed the distribution model for music. Instead of the trickle down economy in Web 2, which is basically like platform to artist,
Sure.
I changed it from artist to platform. So I use my monsters. If you hold the monsters, our Discord is token gated. So you go on our Discord, you connect your wallet through Cloudland, it opens a special channel, and you get downloads of all my music from here in perpetuity for free. Nice. And you get a download of all my comic books from here in perpetuity for free. So when you own a monster, you're invited into my world and you get everything. And that's how we're distributing music now. We want it all done through NFTs and people to really enjoy them and realize the power behind them. So I kind of use that to change music distribution. I did a talk at Harvard on that. I did a talk at ETH Denver on that, and I will be speaking at NFT NYC this year as well on music distribution in Web3. So if you guys are interested in NFTs or interested in any of that Web3 stuff, please, hit me up and hop into our Discord and be part of it. I also have a collection called the Pixie Girls, which is based on the paintings that I started doing during the pandemic, because when we couldn't tour, I I didn't have any income. So I started painting, and I sold 72 paintings on my own. And then I'm bringing them into Web3. I've almost sold out all of the Pixie Girls. I think we have like a couple left on the Tanya one, but the other one is sold out. So if you'd like to pick one up, I'd love to have you join the Pixie family. They're really cute. They're all kind of like little girls.
They
little
are. I've seen them.
Yeah, little wafties.
seen it.
And they have like little loops, like sound loops that go with each one of them. So they kind of have their own little soundtrack.
I love it
too, because being a musician, you got to put that in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so fun little stuff. And I'd love to have you. I will be launching a couple new projects this year, as well as announcing a bunch of stuff that's happening with me in Web3. But
That's awesome.
yeah, it's going to be an amazing year, and I'm really excited for it.
I'm so
Thank you.
excited for it. And you're milking the utility. That's the beautiful thing about it. You're offering such great utilities for your fans. And that's one thing that you have to do as an artist. There's so many great things that you're definitely catering to with your fans and what they have access to. And I have a couple of collections that I'm putting out. It's so overwhelming. I'm trying to put out so many fires, and I'm still in the rebuilding process of all this stuff. But yeah, I've been checking out all this stuff. I'm going to have to delve deep into the NFT world of Emily and what is September morning. And you know what? Who knows? Maybe I'll do a trade, give you a giraffe, you give me one of these little pixie checks, and then, it'd be pretty cool. So listen, Emily, thank you so much for your time and everything that you're doing. I wish you continued blessings, girl. And yes, I will take you up on that. When you're in here, hit me up, and I would love to go see you. That would be amazing.
Yeah, we're playing with Orgy, and I'm sure you know those guys. So come on out and party with us.
Without a doubt.
It would be good to see you anyway.
It would be great to see you as well. All right, listen, thanks so much. We definitely got to do this again. Enjoy the rest of your day, Emily. Keep rocking, girl.
All right, bye.
Bye.
This has been a Mojo for Musicians podcast. To learn more about becoming a featured guest on the Limelight Lounge and share your mojo with us, visit mannycabo.com and send us an email in the contact section. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this podcast on your favorite podcast app. And if you like what you hear, be sure to give us a positive rating and review. And remember, music is a universal language of inspiration. So keep supporting your local artists so they can keep inspiring the world. As always, much love and peace, and always live to inspire. Thanks for listening.